Hey everybody, so here what we're going to do is we're going to take some given information and solve for the missing pieces. So here we have a triangle ABC with a right angle C. We're given that AC is 30 and we're trying to find AB. Now it gives us all this really cool information down here that we're going to use to solve for this missing piece. Is that the information that they're giving me is kind of like a scaled down version of the triangle that I have. So they're telling me that the sine of ABC, or that the sine of B, this angle right here, is 15 over 17. That means that the opposite side is 15 and the hypotenuse is 17. They tell me that the cosine of that angle is 8 over 17, so I can say that that adjacent leg is 8. And to confirm, they're telling me that the tangent is 15 over 18, and that makes sense because the opposite side is 15 and the adjacent side is 8. Okay? Now, if I compare that to the triangle that was first given, we can see that the side across from B in this triangle is 15, and the side across from B in this triangle is 30. What is the relationship between 15 and 30? You're right, 30 is double 15. 15 times 2 is 30. So how could I get this other side? Well, I can compare 17 to this side. So I would do 17 times 2 because they have to have the same comparison. And 17 times 2 is 34. So the length of AB is 34. Now let's just double check to make sure that we are correct. If I find the sine of angle ABC in this triangle, it's going to be 30 over 34. Is that the same as 15 over 17? It is. It reduces down to 15 over 17 if you just divide the top and the bottom by 2. And that should make sense because we multiplied by 2 in order to see that similarity there. Let's try another one. So here, this one looks a little bit more complicated. We can actually solve this in a couple of ways. I'm going to start by doing it the same way that we did the previous example. I'm just going to redraw this picture with the given information. So the easiest information to use, in my opinion, is tangent. So if I look at angle ABC, tangent of that angle is 5 over 4. That means that the opposite side is 5 and the adjacent side is 4. Okay? Now, the information that they gave me in my original picture was the hypotenuse. I don't have that in my scaled version here, so I'm going to find it. So I'm just going to do Pythagorean theorem on the information that I have. And I end up getting that C equals the square root of 41. Okay? If that was a little too fast for you, you can just ask your teacher and they'll go through it with you. Now, if I compare my hypotenuse to the hypotenuse given, root 41 compared to 2 times root 41, you would agree that this triangle is double, right? 2 root 41, that is double root 41, or it's times 2. So if I want to find this leg, well, in my triangle, that leg was 4. So in this triangle, that leg is going to be, you're right, it's going to be 8 because 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, and then this one over here would be 10. The other way we can think about it, if you look at the information given, it looks a little complicated because they've rationalized the denominator in both of those sines and cosines. Okay, now you know how to do that because we did that in the last video. But what I can kind of say is I can take a look at the information that I have and what I want. So if I look at this angle B and I say, okay, cosine of that angle is going to be the question mark over the hypotenuse, right? Now the reason that I picked the cosine was because it had the most information that I needed, right? I wouldn't pick sine because I wasn't even looking for that side in the first place. So cosine of ABC, I'm just going to use the variable x as the question mark, is x over 2 root 41. Now, the information told me that actually the cosine was 4 root 41 over 41. So I can kind of set up an equation here and solve for x. So how do I solve this type of equation? I'm going to cross multiply. So I'm going to say that x times 41 equals 2 root 41 times 4 root 41. So I'm going to get 41x equals 2 root 41 times 4 root 41. So I'm going to get 41x equals, now 2 times 2 is going to give me 8. I'm going to multiply the two radicals and that's going to give me 41. And if you're noticing here, I can just divide both sides by 41 and I will get that x equals 8. Okay? Which is what I had originally when I used my other triangle. Okay, everybody? Good luck.